Dude, I
What's
almost
up?
said it, I almost did the radio station opener. I was like, almost Groove 99.3 Bakersfield. And I was like, oh wait, that's it. Was
That
like,
would have been
oh,
sweet,
that
dude.
was I almost did that. I was like, oh wait, this isn't the studio. Kind of zoned out, man.
Do you really
Chino
do?
Brothers.
How many live breaks do you do?
We do 3 an hour.
All
We do
right,
3 an
now,
hour. The mix is probably like is way more. You're doing like every other song and stuff.
all right. So we're gonna keep pretending this game or what? I'm asking, are your skills still real?
Dude, for
so
real,
do
I'll
you?
crack the mic live. I've done it live.
How
Yeah.
often?
Probably a lot of times. It's because I've got a winner or something. I got to do a
Okay.
phoner. I got something like that. But then radio's that animal that's kind of like, all right, dude, you do your on-air shift, but you're doing this and this and this.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like, well, there's only 8 hours in the day, or maybe 9, and you know what I mean. So you
I
kind
don't
of
know,
do
dude.
lower, but
I always thought it was fun to crack the mic.
oh, dude, it's the best, man. I love doing it. And when I was out of radio for like 3 years when I had my in between jobs,
Yeah.
and when I went back, it was kind of like it was like brand new to me. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm nervous to crack the mic, and because you think about like, you remember? Did you ever mess up on the air? Like, oh,
Like an F word or
no,
like
just kind of
sounded
stumble
whack?
over your words or something, you know?
I don't know. Well, two things. One, I was always on a show. Like I almost
You had
never
a
had my own
partner.
show. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
always on a
okay.
show. So I was always on a morning show. And then like doing overnights, dude, you don't really put a lot into it. I'm not trying to be mean.
Right,
Let's be
right,
honest
right.
with ourselves. You know what I mean?
It's your
Like,
lowest listenership at that time at 2 in the
yeah,
morning,
so
3 in
it's
the
just
morning.
like,
Yeah.
hey, most stuff's coming up next. Hot 98.3. Boom. Like, you know what I mean? It's
The human sweeper.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah. You want to give us a call? I don't even remember our phone number. You do. What was it?
770-9836.
What was the area code? I can't remember the area code.
520.
520?
520
we
was
didn't say
Arizona.
the area code there, huh? In the
Nah.
East Coast, you have to put the area code no matter what. Even if I have the same area code as you, I have to put
Really?
412.
Oh, you actually have to
and then your
dial
phone
it.
number. Yeah, it's crazy.
Huh.
Yeah.
I know.
770
Cheeto,
hot 983 or whatever.
Cheeto, our guest, knows that it's weird when you ask for people's number in Bakersfield. It's all 661, but everybody always says the area code.
Oh, really?
661. You're like, dude, it's the same area code. Bakersfield, we got 1 million people here. It's the same, but you still just, I do it too. They'll be, what's your number? And you can see him
in the
type
Berg-
661.
In the Berg, you got to put in the actual area code.
Oh,
or
you
else-
actually
or else
have
they
to
get
do
through.
that.
Yeah. When I first moved here, you didn't, but only on my phone because my phone was a West Coast phone. So because
Dude,
it came
here's
from the West
something
Coast-
crazy. I was born in Southern Illinois, small town,
Yeah.
and you only dialed the last 5 numbers.
Wow, that's bananas.
That's great. Yeah, it was crazy. Like you just be like, "What's your number?" and just be only the 5 numbers. You'd be like, "Oh my gosh, small town."
Let's get back to this cracking the mic thing. So yeah, I mean, the thing is I only cracked the mic by myself when I had overnight shifts, and then like sometimes you have to do a Saturday shift.
Yeah,
Oh no, you
yeah.
always had to do a Saturday shift. That's
Pretty much a
right.
weekend shift. Either
Yeah,
Saturday
and then
or
I remember
Sunday.
Pac tried to give me Saturday and Sunday. I was like, bro, I want one day off, and he was like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, sketches of blah blah. Come on, bro.
He would
know what I
clown
mean?
like, "Dude, you're being a wimp." We'll
Yeah.
use that word instead of
Yeah.
the real word that he used, and
But
yeah,
come on, bro. You're supposed to have one day off, bro. I've been doing all your clubs and all this stuff, and now I got a freaking whatever. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
That's why
one
kids
day.
don't go into radio if you don't like working a lot for next to no money.
Peanuts. Yeah, but you get to do shout outs. What up to DJ EVP?
What up, EVP?
He never
Good to see you,
messes up
dude.
on the mic, does he?
I
Nah.
don't think so, dude.
EVP's
All right,
a
well, we're
professional.
not here for us talking about reminiscing about the old Chino brother days when we were still the Chino brothers before we became the Chino brothers again. We're here to talk about DJ Chito.
DJ Chito, but it's actually Cheeto, one word. And we're going to dive into it. We're going to get in depth with this dude because I'll be honest, we've worked together, I guess, for what, 2-3 years? He does the mixes and stuff, and I'm on the air and stuff. But, he's the Saturday night guy. I'm the kind of the during the week guy. And, so our paths don't really cross that much. But just knowing him, the more I've talked to him just in the green room previous, you're like, this dude's pretty interesting. And it's going to be fun to talk about this because he's an old school head like us. Loves the music thing, and well, I'm not even going to say the best thing about it. I'm going to let him explain that too. But ladies and gentlemen, make some noise. Help us welcome DJ Chito.
We need
What's
next
up,
season.
everybody?
We got to have a sound next season, like a button I
Yeah.
push that makes a.
Some drop.
I think we go one step further. Live studio audience
At your house.
That's what we do.
Right?
But then again, if they boo or something, that'd kind of be a bummer. I guess we'll have to have some kind of stage manager kicking them out. But yeah, we could sound effects or live studio audience.
Well, don't get slapped, bro.
It's in the
That's
works.
all I'm saying.
Don't get slapped because
don't be making fun of bald people.
if you're gonna
slap,
if you're gonna slap somebody, we know where to do it at the Oscars.
that's
Because
right. There's nothing happened to.
But again,
Oh, man.
back to what we're talking about tonight. Our special guest, DJ Chito.
Real quick, you guys. DJ Chito's an HVAC guy, so we were talking HVAC shop when we were in the green room, and I didn't get to finish my story. So, if you'll oblige me, real quick.
Go for it.
So this company, dude, it's called Galease, right? And they in Pittsburgh it'll get to be -5. So you'll call this company because everybody else is all booked up, and they'll send somebody over with a salesman, and they'll charge triple, Adley. Run your credit and everything, bro.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah. Forget that, dude. That's why I call Chito. Call him to DJ your party and to
then
fix your
fix your air
HVAC, fix your AC. Yeah, dude.
Right.
He'll knock out both at once, dude. You get a special deal if you rock both of those.
That's right.
Like, hey, man, DJing at the house party, Chito's like sweating, like, man, here's my card, bro. This is too hot up in here. Oh my gosh.
But you got to tell them which truck to bring. So you got to tell them,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is.
Exactly.
He might have to have his wife drive the work truck while he drives the DJ truck. He's like, okay.
Right? They won't all fit. It won't all fit in one vehicle. All this stuff. Oh man, it's too much
That's
stuff.
right. And
Yeah,
from
that's
what I
crazy.
understand from Adelaide, you're still using vinyl, so now you have a flashlight for the vinyl, and then we can fix that air conditioner afterwards. There, see? So-
Yeah, do the vinyl night. Still doing a vinyl night. Try to do one vinyl night, and then the other night a month is just regular. I use CDJs for that night.
Still old school though. You don't use Serato.
No, it's the CDJs, the Pioneer CDJ 3000s. That's what I rock with.
It's a disc player, you guys, for those of you who aren't familiar.
Yeah, compact disc is even old school at this point, right? A compact disc. What is
Yeah.
that? Oh my god! Wait,
Well,
and you got the CD, and it's got like MP3 tracks, so you got like 100 songs on a CD.
Well, you can do that, but you could put a thumb drive in it now, and so it'll read the
Oh.
thumb drive.
That's not bad.
So
Huh.
it's cool. You just put the thumb drive, it reads everything. It has touch screen and everything. So it's almost, I guess it's kind of like Serato, right? But you don't have the computer.
I think it's a lot like Serato, but this is what I'm going to ask you, Chito. Now, can't you find some groupies or something, or roadies or something to carry those crates for you so you can just do vinyl both nights? Because I already know the answer. Yeah, I already know the answer. Because
No.
the question is, why don't you do vinyl all the time? And the answer is, bro, we're pushing 50 here. All of us are pushing 50. If you remember Run DMC, you're pushing 50. That means your knees aren't feeling as good as they used to. Your back's not feeling as good as it used to. And 30 pounds of records definitely doesn't feel as good as it used to. So I don't
Yeah, and
blame you.
I take way more than 30 pounds on that night.
Hey, well, Chito, you got kids, right? You got kids though, huh?
Got 2 kids.
Oh, okay, that'll help you carry
boy,
stuff,
little
huh?
boy and a girl.
How
Yeah,
old are
I've
they?
told them 14 and 9. I've said, hey, you should come DJ with me so you can help me. And they're like, no, I don't want to go.
Which one's the 14-year-old? 14-year-old's the boy or the girl?
Yeah, my son, he's 14.
Oh, God bless you. Yeah,
DJ Spicy Cheetos.
Dude, I
Yeah.
almost made that joke like when we were coming on. I'm like, it might be corny. I'm not sure. But Danny dropped it. Good for you,
Daniel
Danny.
just proved it's corny.
Oh, no.
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Oh.
I'm just kidding.
But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So I think the 14-year-old though, like, but I guess I don't know. They want to play Fortnite, huh? Like when we were
Yeah.
14, it's like, hey man, you want to carry these records and come with me to this party? It's like, well, why wouldn't I carry these records and go with you to this party? Heck, I'd carry the records and stand outside the party. You know, like, hey man, I'm here. Right?
I'm with the DJ.
Yeah,
See
exactly.
these records? I'm with the DJ right here. I'm ready to go. Ready to go. You know what, too, though? When your son, 14, 15, is he 8th grade or high school yet? He's in high school or 8th grade?
He's a freshman.
He's a freshman. Okay, so that's the thing,
Yeah.
dude. You go with the DJ to the teen jam or whatever, and he sees some of the ladies over there. And trust me, Mike knows this. I felt like chicks would look at, oh, who's DJing? It was just that little bit of extra attention that could, kind of
Yeah,
help.
Cheeto, you
At
got to
least
start booking
connect
some
with some chicks.
quinceañeras. That's exactly what you got to do, bro. Start booking some of them quinceañeras, and bring your son with you.
I
Bring an extra white
refer- I
tuxedo though. Sometimes they ain't got
refer
enough
that.
kids.
Oh man, I'll refer that stuff. I always refer. I refer all the
You
time.
don't do quinceañeras, huh?
Have you ever
No.
Have you ever been in a quinceañera? Anybody besides me? So have I. I've been in one.
I've been one.
I've been in one too.
one.
Like participated in it?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've DJ'd a bunch of them, but wow.
Wait,
It's a lot of
hold on,
work.
Cheeto. But I bet you're saying I've been in one the same way I've been in one. Did you know the girl who was turning 15?
Yeah, I did. I knew her.
Dude, I didn't know anybody. They just needed an extra boy. And so they were like, yeah, they just need an extra boy. I didn't know anybody. My next door neighbor, he was in the quinceañera. And then he was like, hey, bro, they need an extra person. And I was like, I ain't got no tuxedo money, dude. He was like, no, they'll cover the tuxedo. So I was like, all right. So we went.
You have to learn the whole dance routine and everything?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I did. Yeah. And
Ours
you danced-
had a.
Go ahead.
So we were like, had the top was a tux and the bottom was Wranglers with boots, and it was like cowboy tux. So that was the
So
theme.
Bakersfield.
Nah, man, I didn't have a cool one, bro. I had an old school one, bro. My theme was the Catholic Church and people being angry. That was mine, bro. I was like, man, this sucks, dude. I was like, this music sucks. These people suck, but at least there's free food.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Mike saw. Is there free food? Is
that
there
was it,
girls?
dude. Yeah, there
two
was- it was-
things:
it
girls
was
and
free
free food.
food.
You're like, I'll
Dude,
give it
but
a shot.
The problem is like these guys were from like El Monte, so like the girls were rough, bro. Like they were rough.
cholitas?
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not about this life, man. Like I'm just here for the free food, man. Like this ain't me, dude. I'm not
Some
trying to.
bomb media.
Yeah,
Oh
I'm not
my
trying to have some
goodness.
problems around here. I'm
Yeah.
from West Covina. You know you can kick my butt. There ain't no problems. Anyways, Chito. Sorry. I've always wondered that because like we always talk about quinceañeras, obviously, because everybody's a DJ, and then I've always been like, I wonder if anybody else has been in one. It's a weird thing, Adley. Like you got to learn this dance, and you're a boy and you're 15, so you want to be like playing football. Although I guess yours had that cool theme to it. Mine was just, dude, old school white tuxedo with the weird line on the side. You know what I mean? The ruffly.
It was fun. I still know those dances, those line dances. Like I still know them. So
From
Really?
from learning them then.
yeah. It's the
Oh,
tush
wow.
I want to.
push.
Let's get a
The-
video
the
next
tush
time.
push. Yeah, I wonder if there's a video out there.
All right, well,
Probably has to be.
let's get into the story here. So, Chito, when did you start DJing? How old were you, and how does this come about?
1996 here in Bakersfield. So I grew up here in Bakersfield, going to the house parties here, seeing like the local DJs here, DJ Slice, X-Ray, Noe G, OD, the Baker Boys. I go to the house parties and I really wanted to do what they were doing. But, who could afford turntables, right?
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
Dude, every
Yeah.
single guest I've asked that of. And like some people are like, wow, I had these Boo Boo Yaya Radio Shacks, or like Redeemed, he had like a stereo, and he would turn the knob up and down, and I was like, oh, I did that too.
Yeah.
But who was it, Adley? Oh, it was,
EVP had the rich parents,
no, it wasn't EVP.
the hardworking parents.
EVP's parents were migrant workers, and he forced his mom to buy him equipment, dude. No, it was Doc, DJ Doc. His parents bought him 1200s right off the jump. Like right off the jump, his parents exactly. And the whole episode, he's like, I wasn't rich. And we're like, really? Are you sure? He's like, and then I went to UCLA, and we're like, bro, you're not really making your case for being poor here, friend. But anyways, okay, so you're hanging out in high school, going to the house parties. The house parties got the
Yeah.
bomb DJs. You guys must have had some. Did you have
It was
DJs
cool.
at your house parties when you were growing up, Adley?
Oh
It was
yeah,
cool,
oh yeah,
man.
dude.
Really?
Yeah,
Sure.
absolutely. That's where I met J Rock from the Beat Junkies. I was DJing a backyard party, and then my buddy Xavier, we DJ together, and then he's all, hey, my boy J Rock's coming through, and I'm all right, cool. And he was like, dude, he hadn't hit his growth spurt yet, so he had to stand on a milk crate to DJ on the turntables.
Wow.
But you're like, dude, Gary Coleman's getting down. I mean, because he was so short and stuff. I mean, now he's Mike knows him.
Yeah, he's real
but
tall.
now he's tall. And but yeah,
I don't know him. Adelaide knows him. Like I've met him once, and he probably would not know who I was. But also that being said, I'm trying my hardest not to cuss because I'm having so much fun on this episode. This is a great episode, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love this.
Anyways, all right, so you're dude, because we did in West Covina, it was like a boom box. That was it. And maybe like some corny dude, like he's trying to be a DJ, you know what I mean? Maybe he had his uncle's stuff, but he was corny. You'd be like, bro, you're a cholo, bro. Like that's what you're supposed to be, is a cholo. And you're never gonna be a DJ, but you will be a cholo. So you're going to prison. I'm going to the record store. Anyways, back to what I'm saying, Chito. So do you have friends that are going to parties and you guys are all like watching the DJs, or how's this working?
Well, you're trying to dance with a girl, right? Is what you're trying to. But I'm watching the DJs. If you got to dance, that was fun too. But I was more interested into the DJing. It wasn't until I went to college in '96. I moved to San Jose, and I was at the flea market. San Jose has a big old flea market. It's like massive. And I found the turntable. They were beat up 1,200, and I got it for $70.
Oh wow!
One turntable, yeah.
One turntable.
And then
Okay.
So I was delivering pizzas at the time, so I saved up, got a mixer, started buying records. Another friend of mine had a belt-driven turntable, and that's how we started.
Oh, that's phenomenal.
That was the set, huh?
That's the most disgusting set in the history of the world. But that's phenomenal. Because you know how good what were you gonna say, Chito?
Well, you got that direct drive. That one you had it playing, and then the other one was the one to mix with because that one had the pitch. So
you were rocking parties in college then at this time?
Well,
with that janky setup?
First year, no, it wasn't. No, I wasn't rocking with that setup.
A bedroom
He was
DJ.
a bedroom. Yeah, he was bedroom DJ with that. There's nothing wrong with that, dude. That's actually
until
really
you
cool
got the
for
second
bedroom
turntable.
DJing.
Once I got the second turntable, then I had got speakers. We can put everything on. Pulled financial aid, but used it to buy equipment. You know what I mean? Dang, that's what I did.
Geez.
Pretty much, yeah. And then with the roommates, then they started doing house parties. But I was more into I got more into like the rave scene at that time. I was into house, but my roommates, they weren't into that. They were more into hip hop. And so they're like, hey, we gotta have some parties, and they wanted me to DJ the parties. Like, I don't have any hip hop records. That's when I went to the store. I used to buy records from over there, Night Sounds.
Wait, you were into house before you were into hip hop, Chito?
I was into hip hop, but I got into DJing to spin house.
Oh, okay. Like during the jungle period of house, like that type, or like the techno period of house?
It was, I guess, neither of those. Like underground house. What happened
was some of the first songs you bought? The first records you bought in the house?
Global Communication, The Way was probably the first one. I don't know if you know that song.
Or hum it. Or I know. Oh, whoa, whoa. Oh, whoa, whoa.
No, it was more, I'm telling you, it was underground. So how I got into house, really, buying school clothes on Melrose. One year, remember the Herb magazine? They used to come with free CDs.
Yeah.
And it came with the flammable liquid, Doc Martin. And that CD kind of blew my mind. Yeah, that's how I wanted to get into house when I heard that CD from Doc Martin. And then I got a mixtape from DJ Dan. I don't even know if you guys know who these people are, but
no, but it's funny.
Some of them. But
I'll say this: like I live 3,000 miles away from you guys, and I've made some of the best friends on this show. So like learning about like your guys' culture is amazing to me, because then also it's like, hey, can we get DJ Dan on the show? You know what I mean? Like, I just love learning about the hip hop culture in Bakersfield. It's super unique to any other city I've ever heard. What about you, Adley?
It's definitely one of those like cities where you, as we do this show, it unravels as like, man, this is like a mecca for DJs. Like it's insane how many DJs there are, and not just random DJs, just people who really put everything into it. You know, and the struggles you see from being a bedroom DJ to putting whatever system you can together to spending, you know, your money, whether you earned it or it was allowance, you know, whatever it was, on vinyl. I mean, that's how I came up, dude. I worked at a record store in Long Beach Del Amo, and I didn't get paid. I got paid in records. You know what I mean? Because that's just he's like, here's your check, and I was like, my boss would be like, well, I owe you $112, but you owe me 160 for vinyl, so I'd still work there basically for free for vinyl.
Dude, by the time I met Adlai Chito, he was the music director at the college radio station, but it was just a scam so he could get free vinyl, bro. Like he was just getting stacks and stacks.
Nice.
Yeah, it was dope, man.
That was worth it. Totally worth it, man. Oh,
All right, so now you got your relatively decent setup, and you start doing house parties, and you're in college. Now, how's this?
They don't want to hear house though. That was the thing, you know. Huh. So it was, well, you know, my friends that were into the house scene, you know, we'd go to the parties and everything, but my college roommates and the college people, they wanted like frat party style. It's going to be like top 40. So, and I didn't have those records. So I had to, like, when they were going to do a party and they wanted me to DJ, I went to the store and I discovered these records. I call them lifesavers. Like the Mix With It's, the Lethal Weapons, which one record would have like 6 tracks that were just fire, you know. So
yep.
Adelaide knows what I'm talking about.
And Mike, you've seen them. Like the Wicked Mixes was another brand, and it was a bootleg, right? I mean, for the most part, but they'd put like a nice 8-measure intro on the front, so it was like super easy to mix. It'd have scratch samples at the end. And it would have 4 good songs.
Yeah, I remember those records. Yeah.
You'd have, and they do old school songs on there too. So you get new stuff, but then they throw like an old school track on there, like a Zap or a One Way or something. Like, this is great, dude. But they were like $15-$17. You're like, back in the 90s, that's a lot of money.
The first one, I must have dropped like $300 at least, right, to buy to go a whole party, a whole night. I couldn't just buy two. I had to buy a bunch of them just to make it through the night. And the hip hop records I did have was like Tribe Called Quest, you know, the Far Side stuff that I liked, but you know, it didn't really translate to that frat party.
Nelly. Yeah,
I needed like.
Yeah, you needed Nelly. You needed the Hot Boys. You needed the stuff that me and Adler were playing on the radio. DMX, all that stuff.
Yeah, they weren't even out yet. That was right. 96. What was hot up there was like E40, Too Short. It was Bear. Yeah.
Baby
exactly.
George.
The easy mix records. Exactly, man. That's why I call them lifesavers, because it was like like jumping off a boat. And those things came in handy.
Save your butt. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What up, Noe G? Yeah,
those records.
Speaking of OG DJs here, Noe G.
Yeah.
And dude, but so let me ask you this too: doing the college parties, did you get paid or was it free booze or what was it? Because I feel like that's what we got paid in. Free booze.
That's a great question.
I just spent $300.
I didn't get paid on most of them because it was like the parties at my place. My roommates wanted to they wanted to have the party there.
We experienced that.
I mean, I guess that's better. Well, so when we were in college, now granted, Chito, when we were in college, we weren't college age. So like Adelaide lived in the dorms when he was 22. And I was
a little bit older already, yeah.
Yeah, he bought beer for everybody. Then they kicked him out of the dorms. And then he asked me, why do you think they kicked me out of the dorms? I was like, dude, you gave everybody beer, bro. But yeah, anyways, maybe I shouldn't have told that story on the air. That was a whole lie. The whole story was a lie, man. That was a whole lie. Never mind. Never mind that story. Anyways, back to what I'm saying. But yeah,
he ID'd everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah, check IDs.
At least Chito, it was at his crib. At 2:30, we'd have parties, but for the most part, like we DJ Rolf's parties. It's like, man, we're DJing Rolf's party. None of these girls want to talk to us. I would think at least one girl want to talk to the DJ. Nope.
We tried.
Oh, I tried.
But that helped though, right, Chito? Talking to chicks, or were you even? I mean, or were you so focused on DJing? You had your blinders on.
I had a girlfriend at the time.
Did she help you carry crates?
Hell no. She would get me. I didn't even want to tell her about the party, you know, because then it's like distracting. But then she'd get mad. She'd get mad that I wouldn't tell her about the party.
Oh, because she would show up to the party. Is that what you're saying? Oh yeah, you can't have. That's the hard part, bro. No one understands that who's not a DJ. Like they're like, and then I can't stand this too. When you're talking about that, and a DJ says, "Well, I'm faithful to my wife, so I don't care if she shows up to the club." And it's like, bro, that I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not trying to have mess around with the girls at the club, but I do want to make everybody dance right now, and it's a little harder if she's standing next to me. Do you guys agree with me on that?
It's almost like having your parent there, and you're telling everybody to like drop it to the flow or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's see that booty shake, and you're like, mom's like kind of messing this whole vibe up. You know what I'm saying? Girlfriends and wives, like, no offense, but can have that effect.
When me and Adelaide used to DJ together, I used to cuss so much, Chito. I get on the mic. Yeah, bro, I'll get on the mic. Bro, you never heard somebody cuss that much. Bro, like the
foul mouth.
Yeah, we'd be walking in, and the door staff would say, "Hey, Sketch." That my radio name was Sketch. They go, "Hey, Sketch, you go in there and get your cuss on?" And I'd be like, "Yes, I am." And I get the microphone.
All right, you mother effers, make some effing noise.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
it was fun. Though. We had a lot.
It was cool.
How did we get on that? We were talking
about DJing
house parties.
college
house parties.
Stuff,
that's
too.
Right, because Adley was asking if you got paid. That took me back to when him and I did house parties. But anyways, okay, so they're always at your house. The thing that sucks about having house parties at your house too, sometimes you want to go to sleep earlier than everybody else does.
Well, Mike had the morning shift.
Yeah,
so we lived together. Mike had to be at work at 5:30, like
5:30,
early.
Yeah,
I didn't start till
Adley had the overnight shift.
Yeah, so late. Yeah, so I was like, man, this is my regular wake up time and stuff too. So, one thing I was going to ask about too, though, when you're delivering pizzas, but you're DJing these house parties and your own house parties and stuff. When do you start like doing gigs, like making money and stuff?
Wait, I was about to ask, when do you go to school?
Yeah, when do you go to college? Did you pass?
Yeah, I did. And you know how you can set your own schedule. But it was like in 2002, I started working at this record store called Time Warp in San Jose. It's actually still around. They're in the that same flea market, but they had like an actual brick and mortar working there, and then they actually sold house music. So I was buying a lot of house. Then I got put onto this bar. I started my first house night that I went on to do was like 5 years. It was on Mondays for 5 years. Every week. It was a weekly too. So that was like a paid gig. And then at this other bar is where I started doing Thursdays and Saturdays, and that was like a top 40 bar. So that's when I really had to start buying every 12, not just the Lifesavers. I'd get those too, but then.
Wait, how are you getting these gigs, Chito?
When I worked at that record store is where I met a few people that that got me in places. And once I started doing the top 40 stuff, people were tripping out because that's when Serato came out, and people were still at that time tripping that he's still playing records. And everyone had switched to Serato right away, and I was like, I can't afford to go get a computer, now. I couldn't. I'm already I have this,
20 years later.
But think about it. When you had your turntables, you had your records. Serato came out. You would have had to go get a Mac computer, right? Like, so that's like
computer.
Yeah. And then Serato, you had to spend like $3,000 to convert over, and I couldn't do that at the time. I had rent.
And plus, house is tougher to get too, probably in the beginning on MP3s or waves. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you probably can bootleg everything by that point.
But bootleg,
what are you talking about?
Yeah,
come on, bro.
Yeah. Quality wise, though,
I don't
but
believe
at that
in
point,
bootlegging, though. We're not saying anybody should do that. Like, obviously, that's against the law. We're against that type of stuff. American government, whoever's watching.
Yeah, for house, I think everyone was still buying records. Still, the sites like Beatport and TrackSource, like that stuff wasn't around yet. I don't even know when that came out. Maybe 2006 or 7. Dude. So it wasn't until people were really going full digital with house music. They were getting CDs, and people were sharing files. I remember that because people would have CDs,
CD burners.
CDJs. Yeah, they were burning files like that. But I was still mixing with records.
So I have a friend called Paul, and he's a house DJ. His DJ name is Super Cardioid, like the microphone. But anyways, he would like always get these gigs because he's playing that kind of music, like jungle music or house music, and like he'd always get gigs. He get gigs in Melrose. I'm like, man, I don't even want to
Well,
listen to this music. Like, I don't know what it is. Chito, I'll say this. House DJs are always the coolest DJs, though. Like, I'm not kidding you. You know I'm telling the truth, Ad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they
Like
listen
just
to, like,
hip, smooth,
yeah,
chill.
like
yeah.
they're cool. Like, they know the cool hip-hop you haven't heard of yet. Like, they're
Mhm.
like, hey, man, you ever heard of Peanut Butter Wolf? Like, they're the type of cats that introduce you to Peanut Butter Wolf.
Yeah.
You dig where I'm going? You're
yeah.
like, well, how have I
Armin
not
Van
heard this
Helden
dude?
and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like that's house DJs. Like, but and also like I don't know, Chito, man. Like, I'm not trying to sound mean by any stretch of the imagination. So if I offend you, I apologize in advance. Is that fair?
You're,
Okay.
you're good, man.
Good, but
I've heard it
because
all.
I
I've
don't
heard
think
it all.
I'm the only hip hop DJ that feels this way. I feel it's a little bit gay though, Ad. Don't you feel like it's a little bit gay, the house stuff? Like, I feel like
The
there's a
house
little.
stuff.
I feel like it, man. Like, there's a little bit of gayness there. No offense, man. And like, really, Chito, I'm being totally honest with you. I'm not being mean.
No,
I never thought about that, but
you're
yeah.
not wrong. But if you think about the history when DJing came about, like if you heard of David Mancuso and the Loft Party, and then Kool Herc, right? Who they
Kool
is that
Herc,
the
yeah.
guy who
Yeah.
Kool Herc, yeah.
hip hop? When all that was happening, Mancuso was DJing too, and then when all that disco died, and then hip hop came out, and so did. But see, you don't remember house that happened too at the same. All that happened at the same time, dude. As hip hop,
Yeah.
at the exact
No,
same time.
I know it did, because when I was 13, you might believe me or not, Chito, on this one, but this is the truth. When I was 13, the guy I just told you about, Paul, him and I, we went down to Mexico. My father used to always take us down to Mexico, and we go camping and stuff like that. We met these two Germans, and they were listening to house. And it was the same year that the Fat Boys record had come out, the Wipeout. Remember the Wipeout record? Wipeout. They were listening to it back then. And so it's like, but in America, it came, like, we didn't get it for 8 more years.
But it didn't get passed around because it was mainly happening. Well, I know just because I'm an enthusiast, so I look at the history. I was a kid then, but I know it started like in Chicago, right, with Frankie Knuckles, and I'm sure you guys have heard the story,
Okay.
the story of all that.
Man, I don't know nothing about.
Yeah,
house.
school me on
Oh,
that.
you
I
don't?
know
zero
I know the
about
name,
house.
but that's it.
Cheeto, I'm telling you right now, bro. Like,
So
it's-
Frankie, if you want to know, Frankie Knuckles and Larry Levon, they were in New York, and they were Larry Levon was about to blow up with the Paradise Garage, and then Frankie Knuckles, he moved over to Chicago, and that's where he started the warehouse parties. So he would have like a drum machine there, and he would cut reel to reel, so stuff would be looped, and he would be like making like edits and playing them live, and so it would be having that 4/4. And it'd be like a song that you've heard on the radio, but it's like an edit. And so they'd be talking about that music at the warehouse parties, and so that's how like house music came about. That house music from the warehouse parties, and so that's how house music, the name came to be. But that's I mean, people that are into
how
house
to get
know
to
all
Germany?
because it blew up over there. It went over there.
And just, do you think America wasn't feeling it then at first?
Oh, they were feeling it there in New York and Chicago. It was happening there.
Yeah, dude, I remember too. Back in growing up in Orange County, there would be raves where people would just straight up break the lock on a gate, break into an empty warehouse, throw a DJ up there, because it would be like, all right, you got to call this number to find.
But that
the
was in the
location.
90s
It was
already.
weird.
So,
it was 90s,
but that was so right. But then it had already, by then songs that came out that went commercial that were house songs, right? Like Madonna's Vogue was a house song, right? That song Vogue by Madonna, that's a house song.
I figured out the analogy. I've been working on this analogy in my head for probably about 5 minutes while you guys were talking. Adley, tell me how you feel about this analogy. House DJs are to hip hop DJs kind of like Insane Clown Posse-ish. Do you see where I'm going on that? Like, it's kind of like the Insane Clown Posse. You're like, I respect it. I ain't got nothing against it. I guess Coolio's a part of it now. It's not that weird. I'm not going to be a part of it, though. It's not really for me. And I think there might be something behind the scene that I don't know about that I might find out about. Do you feel that way about house?
I get what you're saying. My analogy would be hip hop is 40s and blunts. House is ecstasy and cocaine. Right?
There's 40s and blunts at the
there's
I also feel like there's like sex toys and rubber pants at the house party. You know what I mean? Like
The stereotypes. That's what, like, well, I
That's why
can't
Chito
argue
was
because
into it.
so see, Chito, you understand why like hip hop dudes, like it's hard for us to be like, nah, man, we're good. I'm always like, hey, bro, I'm not bisexual or nothing, okay? But I'll come over there if you invite me. But I want everyone in here to know I like ladies and ladies only. That's how
Well,
I feel, man.
I have friends that had told me like, I don't like that house. I like that stuff you play. I go, yeah, it's house, but it's because I see you might have a different meaning when you think of house. The song that comes to your head might be something that's not house. It's like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, like hard house or something really fast. Where I don't know, come and listen to me play. Maybe I'll change your mind. You know what I mean? It's not the same stuff that you're used to, is what I'm saying. It's gonna be groovier, mellower, deep. Even my wife, who I'm married to now, she came up to visit me, and I was doing a show in San Jose, and I was DJing, and she was like, What's this music you're playing?" And I'm like, "That's house." She's like, "But she thought it was. She didn't know that was house. She thought house was like hard house, if you know what I mean by hard house, like that really fast, like
Yeah.
100,
Okay.
yeah."
That
And I'm
techno-y
like,
house. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm like,
It's like, oh my gosh,
and I'm
man.
like, no, I go, that's not a house. I mean, that's like a type of house, but it's not like the real, what I call like real house, right? So they say maybe you haven't even you to this day haven't heard like real house music
Chino,
all
it
these
wouldn't
years.
surprise me if I haven't, to be totally honest
Yeah,
with you. It's not like I mean, like you're saying you haven't heard Zimbabwean music. It's like, well, I probably
yeah.
haven't. You know,
Because it's like my hardest homies that are into hip hop, and then they come out and they hear my stuff, and they're like, "Damn, that's pretty cool stuff." I was like, "Yeah, that's that real stuff, you know."
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that happens all the time. You got to blow some minds here and there, you know.
Now
I'm not
what?
mad at it.
What about the song? There's some in this house. There's some in this house. There's some in this house. There's some
Is
At least
that
you can sing along to it.
is
You know,
that a
'cause a lot of
house
houses
song?
it's like that's house, right?
Yeah, I guess it would be. I would call that more like Baltimore. See, there's even different categories. More like booty shake kind of house. Yeah, like
Ah,
you know
okay.
so like more like a song that went, deep inside. Everyone knows deep inside, deep,
I don't
Mhm.
deep,
I don't
deep
know that one.
inside, deep. Come on, you know that Adelaide, right?
So what are the words?
Deep inside.
Or do you
Maybe you
know?
don't know.
Ooh,
That's like
the
a song.
night crawler. Ooh, night crawler.
Adley, you
Ooh,
really
that's a
know
good
this
one.
kind of music?
Yeah, I know. I had there was a little bit of like, cause all the raves and stuff, and it
Ones
was
that crossed
again
over.
try to
Songs that
try
crossed
to meet
over.
chicks. You know what I'm saying, dude? Because those raves would be like 5,000 people, and it'd be like, I'd love to rock a set there, dude. And dude, they had the balloons floating around. You know what I'm saying? The
Dog, I'm
nitrous
not
and
mad at you.
stuff.
You know, it's not like you're OJ on trial or something. It's not. It's literally,
I feel like
I
I'm
swear it
all,
was to meet
all
chicks.
sweaty. Like,
yeah, like, I mean, if you did it, you did. That's on you. Like, I'm not. I don't.
All right,
hate,
one night.
I don't hate house. It's not like I'm like I hate this. It's just like, I mean, think about it, Cheeto. I'm not unusual in this. You know what I mean? Coming from a ethnic neighborhood, if you will, a brown ethnic neighborhood, it's like, oh man, that's kind of not for these type of people. That's maybe for other type of people.
what do you mean? They were the ones that created it.
Yeah, I know, but
Yeah.
they also created rock and roll, and it's
Yeah,
no longer for
exactly.
those kind of people.
Yeah, I did go
It
through
is.
the phase where I was really into it though for a while, and I was going to the raves and all, and digging the music and stuff too. But then I just kind of slowly just gravitated back to hip hop, like I just like, yeah, okay. Do they have new house music now? Is there new stuff?
Oh
Really?
yeah. Every week, I gotta go through. Well, I go through to stay up on game on the sites. I'll listen to like 1,000 tracks a week,
Oh my
and
gosh,
then I won't listen to them fully. You're scrolling
little
through,
clip or whatever.
and then yeah. So then from those thousands new releases every week on Thursday when they come out, I might find like 40 songs
Three
that
pops.
that
40?
I
40
yeah
songs that
maybe.
you like? Dude, I don't
Maybe.
even listen to 40 songs a week. A week.
Uh, well, I mean, I just gotta. I don't know. I just put myself in that routine where that I'm gonna have fresh stuff, so I'll have it. I always have new stuff.
I'm not mad at
Oh
you,
man,
but man, that's
That's just my.
dedication, bro.
That's my routine, man.
Here was the thing
my
with house
routine.
music too, though. When I'd go to Melrose and go record shopping over at Street Sounds or whatever, the one upstairs, you'd be like, they'd have hip hop and they'd have their house and techno and all that stuff too. But you're like, house techno, you don't know what's gonna hit, but you know, like in the hip hop, what's hitting because of radio or whatever stuff. So you'd buy a house track. And then you play it, and then people like, not feeling it, and you just like
dance floor.
and you just file it like, there goes $6.99.
Because you don't know what you're doing. That's why.
It's shooting in the dark. Yeah,
dude.
You got to listen to the record. You got to hear it. Like,
Chito, man. Here's the thing. We can respect that you believe in that religion, but you can't convert us. That's the problem, bro. There's nothing wrong with you believing in that religion. It's like when you meet a Muslim, you're like, hey, brother, that's on you. And I hope that, you believe in your God. I hope you really enjoy your God. I'm a Christian, but you should want me to believe in my God. It's musical religion at this point, though. It's like, hey, man, sorry, bro. We already donated our money to the hip hop church. So.
Yeah, I still play hip hop too, though. So I guess I'm.
And you're still a fan of hip hop.
Yeah.
Like, who's some of your favorite old school artists, like hip hop artists?
Well, see, that's where I was more East Coast. I like Tribe Called Quest.
Yeah, dude.
Well, Farside's there, but yeah, Farside.
Have you heard Five Dog's new album?
I heard you guys talk about it last week, but
I was listening to it while we were waiting for you. Man, it is good. It's
a feel-good, soulful, like Tribe Called Quest kind of vibe.
Yeah,
and
it sounds like a '90s record. Yeah, and Buster's on it, dude. Buster with Redman. What's that song called? That's How I Get Down. Is that what it's called?
Nutshell. In a nutshell.
Nutshell. Yeah, that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah,
and they describe themselves. It's so cool, man.
It's really good.
That's one of my favorite songs on the record. But anyways, yeah,
I'll definitely see. That's good. I'll go check it out. Well, for sure.
It's one of those like you feel young records when you listen to that record because it's brand new, but it sounds like it came out in 1994. It's real nice. It's real jazzy. Yeah, if you're a Tribe fan, then yeah, you'll definitely like it, especially because Five too. But
yeah. Now, do you have? Let me ask you this: do you have more records of hip hop or house?
House, man.
Absolutely. House.
Oh, real? Okay. No, without a doubt, huh?
40 records a week, bro. Did you hear the man
No,
say?
I'm not buying that's digital when I'm listening to stuff digitally.
Yeah, but
you're gonna download.
It still downloads. You know what I mean? So 40 downloads a week. Dude, I don't listen. I'm not even lying to you guys. I don't listen to 40 songs a week.
Dude, and Mike, here's the weird part too. Every week you listen to these new songs and actually find new good songs. I still got that itch to want to hear new hip hop and try it out and see what's good. But I'm just so disappointed.
Dude, after you introduced me to that Kendrick Lamar fellow, I was like, I ain't listening to none of this crap anymore.
Kendrick Lamar's all right too. I like him too.
Yeah,
but Kendrick Lamar against that new Five Dog album. That new Five Dog album is good. If you guys have not heard it that are watching right now, after the show, go on YouTube, and I'm telling you, I'm gonna. It's so much fun. But at the same time, I did have some gummies from my shop. That, I own a vape shop, and we have Delta 8 products there, Delta 9 products, Delta 10 cannabis products.
Tiny Box Vape Shop.
That's right.
Shout them out.
2 of them because one of my vendors said, I want you to try these and see if they're good. Man, that Five Dog sounded so good after those gummies kicked in, bro. I was like, that's what this music's for. Anyway.
But that's what I'm saying. A testament to you, Chito, because honestly, I missed that. And Mike hated it when we'd go to the record store, the CD store. I'd be like, hold on. I got these 18 songs I want to listen to. And then I'm going to narrow it down to like 2 that I'm going to buy. And Mike would be like, dude, just let me grab my whatever and get out. Let me grab my Red Man.
I knew where I was going. I knew what I was buying when I went. 1. And 2, I was like, Adlai, stop being cheap. Just buy both of them. And he'd be like, oh, which one would you want to listen to all the time? I'm like, I don't know, bro. We live together, so I guess I'm listening to that one all the time,
And it'd be a No Limit Soldier. It'd be some Master P.
Adlai had so much Master P, dude, in the 90s, bro.
Hell yeah.
I love that stuff.
Dude, and not just Master P, like the whole tribe, bro.
The whole catalog.
I got C Murder, Mystical.
Silk
what
the
was
Shocker.
the girl?
Yeah,
Mia
X. Bust it out.
Yeah, Mia
Bust
X.
out your vinyl, man.
I get it.
That
That was
vinyl,
CDs too, but I have some of that on vinyl. But yeah,
I'm telling you, every single, it did not matter. No Limit. There was this one No Limit record. I wish I knew what it was. I cannot find it to save my life, and Adley doesn't remember it. But the song went, "Oh, big baller, you got money to the ceiling." Do you remember that?
I felt like Mystical was on it. Mystical was a feature.
Why don't you get your money and do what you want?
You can't find it?
No, I can't find that record to save my life. I can't find it anywhere. I can't remember the name of the song, and I can't remember the name of the group. But anyways, neither here nor there. Yeah. So that's the thing is, I was like, Adley, stop being cheap. Buy both of them, dude. Just buy both of them, bro. I already got what I want. But yeah, definitely No Limit, bro. Like, I don't think anybody had as much Dirty South as Adley. Like Adley, he and it was weird too, because like you're a half Asian dude from Orange County. We live in Tucson, but you wish you were in Atlanta right now. Like,
I wish I was, in New Orleans, Atlanta, somewhere down there. Oh, that'd be great. Now, Chito, did your roommates like the house music when you're just playing it while you're getting ready? They didn't like it?
Well, they knew that it was different than what they thought was house, but no, they still were. They were saying like
play some Biggie.
The gay stuff too, like saying that stuff too.
I mean, Chito, look, I'm not saying it to be offensive. I'm just saying,
I'm used to it. I've heard that the whole time. No.
That's why I didn't say
it's
like,
not offensive.
I didn't say, oh, look at the maricons, blah, blah. I wasn't rude. I was just like, it seems, seems a little, and I'm not positive, but I don't have to question hip hop. Like, you walk in a hip hop room, it's like, yeah, man, I think I know who's in here.
Pass that blunt, let's chill. Now, Chito, dude, just to to be, because you were so secure in your manhood, you were telling me about what other spot you DJ'd at. I don't want to get you in trouble if wifey's there, but what was the spot you went to in San Jose?
Well, I was doing those shows. One of the guys that DJs said, "Hey, I need help one of these nights here. Can you help me out at this spot too?" And I'm like, all right, cool. So I go to this place. He didn't really tell me much about it. It was called Exotica, the Art of Entertainment. That was the name of this place.
Exotica.
And so I go with a Z, just Zotica, which I thought was weird.
Exotica.
Yeah, and it said the Art of Entertainment. Anyways, I go in there and I'm like, oh dang, it was a bikini bar.
Bikini bar? What is a bikini bar?
Well, you can't get fully nude because they sell alcohol. Yeah. So, anyways,
those are the laws in Bakersfield.
That was in San Jose. That's the law there. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, what's up? And he was there. He's like, okay, this is what you're gonna do. And he's showing me, you're gonna put the music in. They'll come and tell you what they want to hear, what color they want, the smoke, and then you introduce. And I'm like, what? Like, I have to do. Like, I was like, going off. He's like, all right. So that night, I was there with him. He's okay. Tomorrow, these are the days you're gonna do. I'm like, oh, but that's what I was doing, introducing them, trying to get them to the guys to take them to the special room, and then they would they would come up to you, be like, okay, I want this song, and I want this purple color. And
wait, what happens in the special room?
I don't know. You have to pay extra, right?
She changes into a thong.
I don't know.
So you got to pay extra.
Yeah, that's all I know. Yeah, that was.
You never scoped it out. I don't want to get you in trouble, so.
I didn't. What was fun for me, and I was telling Adelaide, I got a kick of doing the lights. I was more into doing the lights and the smoke. I was having fun with that, and that's where I got my practice, talking on the mic. I never really talked on the mic, even when I would DJ, and I was forced to. So that was a different experience. Definitely had to grow fast to have to do that and speak to people.
Hold on, Chito. So how did you meet your wife? Because if she didn't hear you DJ until recently, it wasn't at a gig.
Because we went to high school together.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. We were
like high school sweethearts all the way through?
No, when I'm 2 years older than her. So when I went to college, we stopped seeing each other. And then for like 5 years, right, when we were I was in college, and then she finished college. And then she's like, hey, can I go visit you? And then that's when we got back together. So So there was like a
That's always a
5 year.
BS breakup, dude. When they go off to college, I think it's smart, but I think it's BS. Because I knew girls like when we were in college, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I don't have a boyfriend." It's like, you don't have a boyfriend. It's like, nah, I don't have a boyfriend. And in my mind, I'm like, there's a dude waiting for you back in wherever you're
Oh.
from, and you're waiting for him. Whether you're like, until Brad Pitt comes along, you got a boyfriend in real life. You know what I'm saying?
But
Like,
well, I never knew that we were gonna. I never thought we were gonna get back together.
yeah,
when-
you did. Don't lie to us,
I
Chito.
I always had feelings for her. I'm not gonna lie, but
All right, hold on a
she.
sec. Did you call her when you were in college?
I
You never
didn't.
called her?
No.
When you came back home from school, did you visit her?
We would bump into each other, and then of course whenever we see each other, the chemistry was still there.
Some sparks.
Yeah.
No phone calls. I'm starting to believe Chito.
Love
but
letters?
I don't know. No, because
No.
he's not
Postcard?
calling. He ain't sending no letters.
No.
No, nothing.
You
When
didn't
I
have
first
mixtape?
when I first went to college, I did. When I first went to college, I wrote a few letters.
Oh, okay.
But then
Yeah, drop the mixtape in there, right? To mail her a mixtape. Baby.
No, that's what made it when she came up to visit me. That's when we we got back together, and we haven't been apart since. But that's when she was like, "This is house music." She calls it "sexy house," is what she calls it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how old were you guys when you got married?
I was 26. She was 24.
No, that's good. Yeah. So
Oh,
you had a
cool.
little
Yeah.
bit of life underneath you, feet underneath you, ready to kind of make decisions and be able to have kids and stuff like that. And then how long before you guys had kids?
Let's see. Did we like 3 years after we were married? We had our son. Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. So you had a couple years to go to Las Vegas
Yeah.
every weekend. Yeah, that's me and my wife.
Mm.
I think we waited. I can't remember how many years, but we go up to Niagara Falls. It's like, oh man, look how fancy this is. It's only 2 people, so it's cheap. You know what I mean? You're out of college, you have
Yeah.
a couple bucks in your pocket. You know? Yeah, that was
Yeah.
great. That was a
No.
great time. But then the kids are awesome. So now, how do you balance that? I don't know. Like being able to DJ, because like I could tell you're a good dad, bro. And I'm not shining your like I don't shine people. I either say it or like I'm being honest, because I say honest things, right? So people like when I say the nice honest things, but then I also say mean honest things, and it's not like I can't control what comes out. But neither here nor there. So I know that you can't stand being away from your kids. That when you're not with your kids, you think about your kids, or if you see a kid that your kid's age and you're like, I should be home, it frustrates you. How do you balance that schedule, DJing and having kids and having a full-time job?
Well, it's the 2 nights of the month, so I'm just real blessed. I would say that I have a wife that even is cool with that, because those nights, the nights of the show, like tomorrow night, I have a show, right? I'm gonna be gone all night, and for her to be cool with that, I always say thank you for letting me indulge my passion, right? Because that's really what it is. It's like I'm not really in it for the money. It's more like that passion that I get from playing out, and I'm just happy with the 2 nights a month. I'm happy, man. Like I get asked to do more shows, and I'm just like, no, like I don't want to
Huh.
mess up right the
That's why he
balance right
passes
now.
on. That's why he passes everything on. That makes total sense.
Ah.
No, it's like somebody in a jam band or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
and
like,
the cool thing about your 2 gigs a month is you play what you want to play too,
Yeah.
right? And you've got a crowd that digs it too. Because we know,
Yeah,
Mike,
the crowd's good.
when you're doing a
Crowd every time.
wedding or a quinceanera, you're kind of like,
You gotta play
well,
some
here's your
boo-boo you don't even
playlist.
like,
Yeah, you got
yeah.
to kind of stick with that and such. You can't go.
So that's a whole other. It's a whole other art form to do that kind of show. It's different. It's not everyone could do it, and I probably could do it, but I'd have to
it's not fun.
get into it. It would
Yeah.
be fun, but I'd have
Have
to.
fun with it.
You'd
then.
have to learn it. You'd have to learn it. It's a whole other style, and it takes skill. It's not easy,
So-
man.
I moved to Pittsburgh, right?
Yeah.
And I'm going to this church, and there's this guy called Greg, and he goes to the church also. And so I'm fresh into becoming a Christian, and like so when I got fired from the radio station, I found God. I moved to Pittsburgh, started homeless ministry, this stuff. But anyways, neither here nor there. So he's like, "Hey man, you used to be a DJ, right?" And like everybody kind of knew that because like I just had gotten fired from the radio station like 6 months prior or something. And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You want to work?" And I was like, "You know what? I could use some work." He's like, "All right, cool. I'm doing a bat mitzvah this weekend." So I'm like, "All right, cool." So I go, bro, and he hired dancers. He had this big light that went in like a star like this. one of the dancers was gay, and he acted straight for like the little girls to fawn over him because he's a real handsome dude, you know. And they handed out sunglasses to people. I'm like, I can't do this. This is not for me. Like,
What kind of music were you playing? Like traditional,
like filthy hip hop, bro.
oh. At a 13-year-old birthday.
Yeah, dude. Filthy, bro. From the window to the walls. I was like, nah, I can't do this, man. Yeah, bro. Like from that time on, I called him Mr. Banana Pants. Cause I was like, bro, because I had never ever seen a DJ like that before. You know what I mean? Like I never met a DJ with a horn or anything like that. Like I only met like DJs, you know? And so when he said, do you want to work? I thought we were going to work. I thought when he had to go to the bathroom, I was going to get on the turntables and this was going to feel fun. You know what I mean? No, bro. It was like I was at a carnival. I was like, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life. And then he invited me to go again. And we went to the Cutco Steak Knives. Like he did the Cutco Steak Knives convention every year.
Oh boy.
Yeah, he took me to Detroit, dude. We did the Cutco Steak Knives. Man, dude, this guy, man, he was so territorial about his equipment. He let me play like 3 songs. I was like, bro, this is the most boring gig I've ever been
So
to.
you
I
just
want to
sat there?
kill you. Yeah, it was horrible.
You just help him set up and help
It
him
was the
break
worst.
down.
It was the worst. Like, you're only supposed to be 15 once, dude. Don't make me do this again. I already sat and watched once. I ain't doing this again. All right, sorry, man. I love telling
That's
these war
funny.
stories with Chito because he's got such cool stories.
Chito,
Yeah,
and now
that's-
Chito
that's
also
funny.
too. So where are you at now? What club? What's this 2 nights a month? Where are you at in Bakersfield?
Oh, it's at the Mint. So they're both
Mint.
at the Mint. So
Okay.
first Fridays and third Fridays. So tomorrow, first Friday, that's gonna be that's when we do our electronic night, Mike. So you wouldn't come
Yeah.
to that night because
It's a mixed crowd.
Nah,
It
dude,
is a
I'd
mixed
go.
crowd.
I'd go just to say what's up to you and be like, all right, Chito. I still am not really the biggest fan of this music, but you tried to sway me. But word, bro, thank you, homie. And then I walk out.
yeah, yeah. The third Fridays, that's the vinyl night. So that's when I'm playing. Well, I play everything that night. I do have house on me, but I play like reggae. I play hip hop,
That's
R&B. I
dope.
play
Yeah, that's dope.
80s music. At whatever's in the boxes, I'll throw it on there. That's
What
fun.
if
It's really
someone-
fun.
What if someone comes up and asks, "Hey, can you play Baby Got Back?"
If I have it, I'll play it. I don't have.
Yeah.
you know.
Okay.
Now, Chito just playing whatever is enjoyable to listen to.
Okay.
But
okay.
Chito, here's the thing. I'll tell you a secret. I like ska music. And like everybody hates ska music that likes hip hop. Like nobody understands ska music. Like when me and Adley used to live together, I'd play that ska music. He would be like, "This music's awful. Turn that off, Sketch." And
That's
he'd
just
bring-
tight. I love it.
he'd
What's
bring
what's
I
some
love
of the
that,
bands
man.
you'd play? What's some
Skank
of the
and Pickle,
Skank and
Mustard
Pickle.
Plug. Oh man, the Scatolites, War Ska.
So
Oh, dude, I love it.
played,
Dude. I rode a Vespa scooter. Dude, it was dope. But then, like, I was into hip hop, right? So, like, I'll be hanging out with these mods and these skins, but I was into hip hop, and like, I dressed like I was into hip hop. I talked like I was into hip hop, and they'd be like, "Hey, this dude's kind of weird." I'm like, "Hey, bro, I like the music. I can't do nothing about it." And then I started getting into that two-tone stuff, bro. Like the
yeah.
what was it, Hip Cat Daddy-O and those cats, like
Oh,
that
wow.
Jamaican stuff. You know what I'm talking about? Toots and the Maytals and all that. Oh man, it's so good. That music was so good. I couldn't stop listening to it.
So
But
you know
here-
that song.
Go ahead.
You know that song Friday night, Saturday morning. Friday night, and
No.
no, it's because it's on one of those two-tone. I thought you would know that, but yeah, it's like a
No.
ska record.
Oh, really?
I dropped that one. Yeah, I
I'll take
dropped
a
that
peek.
one often.
I'll take
You
a
play it?
peek.
You play it in the mix at the club at the Mint?
I play it. Yeah, that one. It comes in like at 74 beats per minute. So actually, I played that one, and then at the end, it kind of gets like a little break, and I dropped the last time I played. I dropped the Pony from Genuine after that.
Oh, that's
after
dope. Yeah, that's dope, man.
Okay. Okay.
after the ska record, yeah. So
Oh
I
my
like
gosh,
to throw.
dude.
All right,
Hey,
well,
just-
Chito, let's
all
get into some
mathematics.
entertainment news real quick, and we got to have you back on
This is
again because
good.
next time we have you back on, I won't freak out as much about the house music. We get more into the story. I apologize, but right now, come on, bro. It does. You know what it's like? It's. I mean, I'm not saying it is like witchcraft, but it seems a little bit like it. Where I'm like, no. Don't want to know anything. Or the mafia. You know, people start talking about the mafia. Like, I don't want to know nothing about that. Biker gangs. Hey, there's a biker gang bar. I'm not going there. You know? And then house. It's all the same to me. All that stuff. It's all. I'm good, man. I'm not mad at those people for being into that. That's for them, not for me. All right, Adley, what do we got for the news, baby?
All right, because speaking of house music, this story is about a house music fan. The Tiger King star Joe Exotic files for divorce from Dylan after 4 years of marriage. So Tiger King, man, the convicted felon hopes he and his fourth husband can both move on with their lives and divorce quickly and amicably. Now, despite Joe Exotic still being in prison, still being married, the star of Netflix documentary Tiger King is ready to look for a new love. The 59-year-old convicted felon filed for divorce from his husband of 4 years last Thursday. And in documents obtained in the outlet, Joe said,
sentence, dude. The 59-year-old convicted felon.
Joe said the marriage is irretrievably broken. So it's over. So he's looking for a new love. So
Chito, are you into the Tiger King, bro?
I never seen it.
Oh man, how?
I think I'll see the movie about it before I see the actual. Yeah, I'll watch the movie about it.
Nah, bro, I'm telling you, I've been all the way deep in this since the beginning, dude. You watched Tiger King too, Adley?
Yeah. I've watched all the spin-offs and stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah.
All right, so you know the husband they're talking about right now that's getting divorced. It's that dude on TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Dude,
Dylan.
So Chito, there's this old wrinkly old man. His name's the Tiger King, right? What's his real name? The Tiger
Joe
King?
Exotic.
Joe Exotic. That's
Joe,
what
yeah.
Yeah. So this old wrinkly old man, he's called Joe Exotic, right? And he tricks these young dudes in with crystal meth to turn them to be gays, dude. And he does it to all of them except this last one. This last one was a real gay. So, anyways, now I'm telling you the truth. I'm not even kidding. Now the dude that Adelaide just read the story about, he's a real gay, but he looks like he belongs in like a K-pop band or something. You know, he's real, groomed and everything. But he still talks like a hillbilly because he's, Joe Exotic's homeboys. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But anyways, this cat is blowing up on TikTok, bro. And they're interviewing him. He's like, what can I do? I can't do anything for Joe. I love him dearly, but, I have a life to live. And it's like, you could just tell he was just on that fame train, bro. You agree with me, Adley?
Oh, dude, he was out. He's like, yeah, I love Joe. He's in jail. I got needs is basically what it comes down to. And I'm getting famous, so those needs are being filled by young
baller lifestyle too.
Yeah, young, attractive dudes. So he's kind of like, dude, Joe, I love you. And I'm sure Joe's in jail like, why?
Joe's in jail, dude. They show this kid's crib, dude. He opens up the door, and it was like a reverse, like Victoria's Secret party commercial. Like it was dudes instead of girls, but they're all dressed like, in like skimpy outfits dancing into his house. I was like, oh man, this dude is cheating on Joe Exotic, man.
Poor Joe Exotic. Oh,
Joe Exotic kills people, man. That's the problem, dude. You can't trust Joe Exotic. He'll feed you to his tiger. Woo,
yeah, allegedly.
You're missing out, Chito. I'm telling you, the only thing I've gotten. Here's the thing: I don't get caught up in pop culture most of the time, but this Joe Exotic got me. It was the pandemic that started it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and then like TikTok, everybody on TikTok was on Joe Exotic, and so I was like, man, I got to get on this Joe Exotic. And then when the second season came out, bro, I watched it like the second it hit the East Coast. I was like, it's 3:00 in the morning because if it says midnight, that means midnight Pacific time. So I got to stay up till 3. Yeah, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, on Netflix. I know it sucks living on the East Coast, dude. All right, what's our next story?
So good.
Chito don't know nothing about this.
All right, I got a few different stories, but I think I'm gonna hit. Let's
Chito
go with okay. Here's my 3 headlines I'm thinking of. Lizzo's dropping a new fitness wear clothing line. Rick Ross talks about climbing Mount Kilimanjaro, and August Alsina on Instagram, obviously commenting about the slap and the Jada Pinkett thing.
All right, dude, I'm all about that. What is it, Rick Ross?
Rick Ross climbing Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, dude, I'm kind of about that. What about you, Chito?
Yeah, let's talk about that.
What's going on?
I was hoping you go for Lizzo.
What's that?
I was hoping you were gonna pick Lizzo.
Dude, we got our Lizzo video suppressed. That's how come I'm like, maybe we don't talk about. Yeah, dude, we'll talk about it after the show.
We don't talk about Lizzo. Okay, let's see. Now, Rick Ross, he reveals his plans to climb Mount Kilimanjaro He says, I gave myself a challenge. He's setting big goals for himself. And during a recent appearance on the Full Send podcast, Ricky Rose revealed he has his eyes set on climbing Mount Kilimanjaro in Africa. He says, quote, I really believe when I put my heart to something, I can do anything. As a matter of fact, I was smoking. I was on my back patio last night. I'm sitting underneath the trees. I'm listening to a waterfall, looking at the plants, the landscaping, the patio furniture, And I gave myself a challenge, and I'm actually issuing you guys a challenge here. This is the first time I've said this, but in 2024, I'm a hike to the top of Kilimanjaro. Just making it to the top, and you going with me.
No, he's not. Is he still fat or is he skinny?
He's a big dude still. Yeah, he's still a big
dude.
dude. Yeah.
What do you say, Chito?
I think he'll do it because that guy, he's like committed. Like if he wants to do something, he'll train I think he'll do it.
I don't know, dude. Fat is hard to get rid of, bro. That's a lot of fat, dog. Woo, that's a lot of fat.
Ooh,
right now we'll have a bet. Now, then I say he will do it, and you say he won't.
You think he's gonna do it?
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Chito's starting to sway me his way though. He's pretty
persuasive.
Yeah, man. Good argument. Good argument. Whatever.
You look at him. He's done it all. He's big time.
Chito, do you know Mickey Rock?
I don't know him personally.
Okay, so Mickey was on the show and he interviewed Rick Ross. Last time Mickey was on the show, we had a story about Rick Ross and he interviewed him. And the whole time Mickey kept telling us he was a criminal in like several different ways. And then
without saying it.
Yeah, and then you go, but I'm not saying he's a criminal. I'm not saying he's a criminal. We'd be like, all right, so who do you think would rob a bank? And he's like, Rick Ross would, but I'm not saying he's a criminal.
Now, Rick Ross did also joke that he's not going on his own, though, because someone needs to carry his Wingstop food.
Oh, dude, no way. Come on, bro. Are you kidding me? This dude ain't doing it, Chito. Come on.
Jokingly.
He's joking.
He ain't doing it. Come on, dude. No. Nah, bro. That statement, Rick Ross,
He's
I don't know, bro.
He's contractually obligated to mention Wingstop.
Is he really?
I don't know.
Chito's swaying me back that direction,
dude. And I'm thinking, how high up Kilimanjaro are we talking? Like to the top,
or
like
maybe, hold on, we're missing
shout.
Give a couple shout outs. Show a couple shout outs here, real quick. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, DJ Nocturnal, Lionel rocking that vinyl. Nice. Just saying, what's up? And back to Noe G. This is a few minutes ago. Noe G and Baby George checking in a little bit earlier too. So, but I just it depends on how high he's going up. And dude, I think people do this.
He didn't say I will climb from the bottom of Mount Kilimanjaro to the top. Like, I could climb Mount Kilimanjaro tomorrow. It's like, all right,
I can
do
8 steps up that mountain.
Exactly.
Man, I climbed it.
We're good.
I mean, I didn't climb it. And dude, come on. When you're smoking, you think of some crazy stuff. Like, you know what I could do? I just train, dude. Work out, start getting to the gym for a couple years. I'll be able to.
That dude has that Snoop Dogg chronic, bro. He's got the good, bro. Whatever he's smoking probably makes him think he's telling the truth. He's like,
he probably thinks he's as high as Mount Kilimanjaro is what he is. So Rick Ross, I hope you make it if you do go for it, but I don't know, man. I don't know. That's just like anything you think I can do that.
All right, so you and Chito have the bet thing because Chito keeps swaying me, bro. I don't know. He's got some sort of soothsayer powers or something, dude.
All right, I'll tell you what, Chito. If he does not climb Mount Kilimanjaro, Mike's gonna fly out here and we'll go to your club on house night.
On house night?
On house night.
If he does climb Mount Kilimanjaro?
But if he doesn't. If he does, you're right. If he does. That's right. You're right. Yeah. So if Chito wins and he does climb Mount Kilimanjaro, then me and Mike will hit the club up on house night.
All right. What if he doesn't though?
Then we'll have to. I don't know. What do we got to do? We got to think of a good.
I'll buy you. Come out here and I'll buy you wings at Wingstop.
No. I'll come out. No. If he doesn't, then Chito, you got to let us use the club that you DJ at twice a month. You got to let us use one of those nights for our first gig when we have every DJ we've ever interviewed
Ooh.
DJ all on one night, hosted by the Chino brothers.
Hey, you could do that either way. Even if you, I'd love to have that happen.
How sick
be
would
fun.
that be, dude? If every
That
DJ
sounds-
that we've interviewed, because like you guys don't all know each other, and some of you know each other really well. What's up, Danny P?
Deep Danny Peasy.
Yeah, and Danny P will be the headliner.
Let's do
Yeah,
that.
dude,
Could
that'd
you
be
imagine
fun.
that show? That show would be sick,
Either-
bro. You and me
way.
hosting, Adley.
Oh, that'd be
'cause
a
you
lot
know
of
we're
fun,
not going to
man.
DJ with these people around because we're going to sound like suckers.
I feel
Either that
like
or, bro, you got to give me
dude.
one of them new decks. I'll buy me one of them new decks, and I'll just start practicing right now.
Yeah,
How
dude.
sick would that be, bro? Like a Lollapalooza of the Chino brothers.
Oh man, with the best of all the DJs coming through. Oh, that'd be so much fun, actually. Oh my gosh, at the
All right,
mix.
do we have one
Wow.
last story? One last story?
Now I got. So you guys don't want to do the Lizzo or the August Alsina?
I don't care. I could do Lizzo or
I've got. Well, this is what else I've got. I got. Well, there's an Old Dirty Bastard biography coming to A&E, and I don't know
Sounds
how big
pretty
of an
dope,
old
though.
DB fan you are. And
Who isn't
then
an old
Yeah.
dirty bastard fan?
Hell
there's
yeah.
also this. Shaq jokingly threatens to Will Smith Charles Barkley.
He always does that.
Yeah, I
He's
also
gonna
don't
be-
believe. I don't believe in the Will Smith thing. I think the Will Smith thing is fake.
Really?
Yeah,
See,
man. For the
here's
rest of
the
my
thing.
life, I'm gonna think it's fake.
And this
I'm
is
gonna-
why I'm leaning towards it's fake, because Chris Rock could have pressed charges but didn't, because if he did, then it would come out that it was fake. That's why he didn't press charges.
If they take away his Oscar, I'll believe it's real. If they don't, I think it's fake.
They're
Here's-
talking about it.
Here's my thought process behind it. No one would be talking about the stupid Oscars right now. No one. Okay, that's first. Second, Chris Rock's all right, but he's not hot. You know what I mean? He's not Chappelle. He's all right, but he's not hot. Dude, his tickets were going for $40 before this happened. Okay. All right. Now, he's like, hey, man, why don't we work something out here? Will Smith's like, all right, everybody's been clowning me about my marriage. I'm going to show them, that I'm a man. I'll stand up for my wife, and everybody will understand, because America understands what an open marriage is and doesn't think it's weird. And it's like, oh, that's a great idea. And then smack, it happened. And what happened was, oh, we feel so bad for Chris Rock. Oh, look at that weird marriage that dude is in. What a weirdo. Oh, you're married to that weirdo? That's disgusting. Ugh.
Huh. Interesting.
think?
Okay. That's an interesting look at it too. 'Cause, yeah, okay. So but what Will Smith was trying to do was just look like, hey, I'm tough. I can handle this open relationship, and I still love my wife.
I think he was trying to say open relationships are normal, and I'm going to show you because I will defend my wife even though we're in an open relationship.
I got to hear Cheeto's take on this.
Yeah, what do you think, Chito?
I think it was real.
Okay.
It was almost like he laughed, right? He laughed.
Yeah.
The camera cut to Chris, and I was telling my wife, is like, I wanted to see what Jada said after he laughed. Like, are you gonna do something? But did she say something? When the camera cut away, was she like, "What you gonna do about that?" And then he walked up there. So I want to see that Zapruder film. The other angles. Too,
No,
of,
it's
like,
out
what-
there. I've seen it on YouTube. She does look mad. I still think it's all fixed. Here's why. They're brilliant actors. Will Smith is a giant man. Chris Rock is an old 60-year-old man who took one as hard as Will Smith cocked back on that fool.
Yeah.
So I
I
don't
mean,
believe
Chris's face was like
Yeah.
pretty far over
Yeah.
and stuff too. So I don't know, man. I
I
don't know
don't
if it's
know.
real or fake,
I
but
don't know. It might be real. I don't know. But here's the thing. I honestly believe that they want us to find that. Because here's the thing. Now everybody's coming out with it where they're like, dude, that marriage is a sham. Will, get out of there. We love you. America loves you. And your wife is a kook. She's ruined everything. Get out. And that's not what he thought was going to happen, I don't think. I think he thought everybody's
Yeah.
going to be like, oh, he loves his wife so much.
yeah, because there was that side, but really, most people, I think the majority of people are coming out like, dude, that's assault.
Yeah,
And
nah,
it-
dude.
and it
Only
was-
the
it was a
white
bad
liberals,
joke, but
the white liberals were like, "Oh, look how much he loves his wife." Only white liberals. Everybody else is like, "What are you doing, man? You're the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, dude. Don't Bill Cosby my life, man. Come on, man. I need something to hold on to for my youth. Don't make this bad, dude."
don't ruin it. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't ruin our whole thought process of you. I mean, yeah, it's like, come on.
It wasn't even like that big of a joke, right? Like I mean, it was. You know what was worse? Was worse on the opening when I forget the woman's name, when she was making a comment about how she wanted to take all the guys with her. You remember that at the beginning of the show? Because she was single and she's
You
like,
think
"Oh,
I
let me
watched
get
that
you."
show,
I didn't
dude?
watch
The
the
only
Oscars.
thing I've seen is the
Only thing I was a
slap.
smack. Yeah.
Well, I thought that was the worst joke. So in the beginning, I forget the one of the hosts. She was single, so she started calling up different guys up on stage because she's gonna take them because she's single. And then she's all Will Smith. She's like, he's married, but she's like, oh wait a second. Oh no, you could come up here too, anyways. Even though,
Oh.
yeah. And I thought that was way more like of a hard joke than what Chris Rock said. And it's
Yeah,
like,
no,
what
it's
happened
calling him a
there?
freaky deaky in front of everybody. Well,
Huh.
here's the argument everybody's saying on all the other podcasts. They're like, if The Rock would have made that joke, would Will Smith still like stepped up and smacked him?
No. Who would have said?
What
He
do you
might have
think?
said not cool. Nah, what's he gonna do to The Rock? He ain't gonna do nothing. Kevin Hart probably would have slapped him.
You think so?
Right? Probably, yeah. Kevin
I
Hart's
don't
a
know.
small
Kevin Hart,
dude.
I could see
He's kind
Kevin
of
Hart
yoked
going
though.
wild.
He's kind of
If
yoked,
somebody
dude.
slapped
Yeah.
him, dude.
He's kind of hood too. Yeah. He might be like,
I
Yeah.
saw Cedric was doing a set, and he started it with that. He goes, "Hey, if you're thinking about it right now, I hit back. So stop thinking about it." That's what he said. But here's the thing, Chito. You ever go to comedy shows?
It's been a while, but yeah, I think I
Okay.
even DJ one back in the day. Yeah,
Where do you sit when you go to a comedy show?
not in the front.
Exactly. You
Not
sit
in
as
the
far away from the front as you can and still have a good seat. All
Mr.
right, man.
T.
If you're going to this award show, you know you're getting clowned. So like you can't be mad that you got clowned. You knew you were going. That's what's gonna happen. So all right, your wife got clowned. You got to look at your wife and be like, look, you wanted to come tonight. You didn't have to come tonight. Because if a comedian's, me and my wife, we went to a comedy show. We sat in the middle. This lady, she's clowning everybody, bro. We're in New York. There's a bunch of Puerto Rican people, and this white lady comes out. She starts clowning everybody on their race, bro. Bang, 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 making racial jokes at all of them, bro. Everybody's laughing. And then she looked, Then she looked at me and my wife, and I'm like, oh no. But she couldn't figure out what I was. So she went to the next person. I was like, oh, thank you, Jesus, for making me racially ambiguous. Oh man. Yeah, man. But, like, that's the thing, bro. You don't want to be clowned by a comedian, but like this dude got clowned, and it's like, all right, well, he's a comedian. He's supposed to clown you. Dude, are you gonna ruin your career for that?
Yeah.
Clown him? It wasn't. That's the thing.
And that's what I was
don't
going to
think-
ask. G.I. Jane
It wasn't-
2, was it really that hurtful?
He didn't know about the alopecia. He didn't know. He just said like, "Oh, I can't wait for G.I. Jane 2." That's all he said. Didn't say like you nothing about like that you look dumb or nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't think it was that big of an insult.
Interesting. I don't know, man.
What do you
I don't
think,
know.
Adley? Yeah, that's a great question. What do you think?
I think the joke was okay. G.I. Jane was 20 years ago, a long time ago. And you think about it, when G.I. Jane came out, Demi Moore was in it, and it was about her wanting to be like a ranger or something, like something high up in the military. So it's kind of like that's kind of a cool role for a woman to take to be in it. So it's kind of like, hey, G.I. Jane. It's almost like it could come from like, well, I don't know if he's honoring her, but because it went right to the shaved head. But I'm saying I'd just be like, okay, and it's kind of like, how did he know she had alopecia or whatever?
Dude, here's the thing.
He just thought she shaved her head.
I think it would be the worst job in the world to be a comedian in this day and age in that room. Could you imagine every word out of your mouth is going to offend somebody? Every single word out of your mouth is going to offend somebody. Like Chris Rock, you have to be such a magician to be able to tell jokes in that room and have them be funny.
Yeah.
And now this.
Yeah, now it's like, here we go. When do I say that? Do I need extra security on stage with me? I mean, what's going to happen, dude? Who am I going to offend? I don't know. It's a shame. Should Will Smith get in trouble for slapping, assaulting a guy? Nothing?
I think since he didn't press charges, I think they should handle it between themselves. Like, and really I don't care.
Right. At the end of the day, it's like, whatever, dude.
I'm totally with you. But dude, you watched it, Chito. Like, why would you watch the Oscars?
He wanted to see who the best actor was.
It was on.
I've
It
never
was like,
heard of any of those movies, dude. It's like, hey,
Yeah.
The Color of
I usually-
Milk. Oh,
I watch it for the jokes is what I watch it for. That's what I watch it for. When they do the roasting, that's what I want. That's what I watch it
Okay.
for. If they didn't have
Yeah.
that roast, if they didn't have the roasting stuff, I wouldn't watch it.
yeah,
That's
I don't think
probably
you're gonna
why
have
they've
that
had-
roasting anymore.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
why
think they're
they've
gonna have
had
it
Chris
anymore.
Rock more than once, right? They've had him a
Then
few
I'm-
times
then I
because he's
won't.
funny.
I won't watch it. I'm not gonna watch it if it's just gonna be some boring
Straight
show where
award
they're
Nah, bro,
show.
they ain't gonna have nobody clowning anybody anymore because look what it did. Like the Oscars are in trouble now, dude. Because there are so many ramifications of this. It's like, okay, if this is fake, like Mike thinks, this is gonna be a giant scandal. So we got to suppress that as hard as we can. If this is real, now we have half the liberal party saying this and half the liberal party saying that. You know what I mean? It's like you guys aren't doing too good over there, are you? But then the Republicans are chiming in too, like, it's like, all right, man, everybody calm down. Does it really
Yeah.
matter that two very rich people got in a scuffle? Because I could care less.
Yeah. At the end of the day, it is something to talk about too. And you talk about the Oscars. Yeah, we're talking about rebounding from this. What are they going to do next year to top it? You
No
know
more
what I'm saying?
comics. They're not gonna have any more
Yeah,
comics.
dude. Because what was cool, and you remember like Ricky Gervais when he would go off on the it was the Oscars a couple years ago, and you'd hear the groans in the audience, but the normal people like us were like, "He's right, he's right." What was the one joke he said? If Al Jazeera started a streaming network, you'd be the first one calling your agent. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, true, it's true. So
Yeah, he was calling out that pedophile stuff. He's selling people their pedophile stuff. It's like, oh man, you can't say that dude's name and say that.
yeah. So I mean, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, Oscars. The Oscars. It's a boring ass reward or award show. So you got to hype it up with something. And that's why mostly comedians were asked to host it.
I can't even tell you the last time I watched the Oscars. I was probably in high school last time I watched the Oscars. All those guys are such blowhards. They think they're so important. It's like, oh, I'm so brave for taking this role. It's like, no, you're not, man.
Yeah.
You're just good at pretending, bro. Good for you. That's it. I'm not mad. I'm not mad that you made money off it. I'm not mad that you made a lot of money off it. But realistically, I think The Rock has been in better films than you are in right now. And none of them were nominated. So let's start with the rundown. The Rock plays a bounty hunter. Wonderful movie.
Love that movie. Love that movie.
Yeah.
Was it even nominated, Chito? Because you watched the Oscars?
No, they should. Why don't they have like an action or comedy category, right? Like for
It's all
I don't know
serious
why.
stuff.
Like, yeah, dude.
Cheeto, did you watch King Richard?
No, I haven't seen that.
Any desire to watch it? Any desire to watch it?
You know why I watch the Oscars? To know which movies not to watch.
Dude, I used to. There was the Surf the Channel was kind of a bootleg website where you could watch movies and stuff. Obviously not legal.
Oh, I remember Surf the Channel.
You remember
I feel like I hooked you up with
I think
Surf
you
the
told me. I
Channel.
didn't want to put you on blast,
Anyways,
but Mike
go
told me
on.
about it. but I'd watch the Oscars and see like, okay, what are the new movies nominated and what was the best movies? I'd be like, because I don't know what to watch, for free,
Yeah.
So I'd plug them into this website and be like, oh, okay. And then I'd be like, man, but 9 times out of 10, if I got the movie off the Oscars nomination list, I'd just be like 20 minutes in, I'd be like, dude, this is even for free. This movie's horrible. I don't even want to watch it. Pop in Napoleon Dynamite, man. This is ridiculous, dude. Come on, man.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. Until Jean-Claude Van Damme makes a appearance at the Oscars as one of the nominees, I shall not be watching it, sir. And you can add Nicolas Cage to that list. And poor old Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, something happened to his voice or his brain or something.
I got that story too, man.
Yeah, same thing that happened to DJ Clever happened to Bruce Willis.
Aphasia. Aphasia.
Cheeto, have you ever met DJ Clever?
No.
Not
in person, but just through like when we talk on here.
Bro, on the show, when he came on the show, He told us he smacked his coconut when he was in Thailand, and he couldn't talk for like 5 years. And he said, yeah, dude. And he was like, I couldn't understand what people were saying to me. And he was like, dude, it was crazy. His story, I can't remember what episode that is. What episode is that?
It was like 3 episodes ago.
Yeah. Dude, you got to go back and watch that episode. It was, oh my gosh.
That's
That
scary.
story is phenomenal. His dad stayed with him for like 5 years. It was awesome. Dude, his story is awesome.
Yeah. So aphasia is a language disorder that affects a person's ability to communicate. The condition can affect one's ability to speak, write, and understand both verbal and written language.
Wow.
And that's happening to Bruce Willis too. So
Dude,
yeah,
we
he's
should
not
get
gonna be
DJ
acting.
Clever on to talk about that, to explain to us like what, dude, he was telling us how it felt in his brain, because he can remember like not being able to transfer the words from his brain to his mouth. It's really fascinating, man.
Yeah, it's
like
crazy.
like a
Crazy
prison,
story.
like he was a prisoner in his own mind. It's not like
Yep.
he wanted to say the words, but he couldn't.
Yeah, but it didn't bother him because his dad was with him the whole time. Dude, this dude's dad is amazing. Like when he was telling us about his dad, I was
yes.
like, my son's never gonna watch this episode because I don't ever want him to think I'm gonna be like this dude's dad. That's what I said. Yeah. But anyways, yeah. I don't know, dude. So Bruce Willis is out. What were we talking about? We were talking about Chris Rock. And then what was the last thing we were supposed to be talking about? I can't remember.
Lizzo. You guys want to talk about Lizzo?
What about Lizzo?
Old dirty bastard?
ODB.
Yeah, the ODB. I
ODB.
thought that's what we wanted from the jump, and you tricked us into a different.
I don't know how we got inside. Dude, the Will Smith, Chris Rock thing is kind of, in a weird way, infatuating. That's all.
It
For
is.
some reason.
Except that the problem is I kind of don't believe it.
Yeah. We'll see if it unfolds like a Jussie Smollett case. May or may not happen.
I hope it does. Chito, I was on Jussie Smollett from the jump, bro. I was like, I don't believe this.
Not buying this at all.
Yeah, but Adler was like, man, that sounds like you're biased, Mike. I'm like, I am biased to his story. He's lying, man. I don't believe this story.
The assailants were wearing MAGA hats in Chicago. Yeah, that's common. But you're getting Subway at 2 a.m. And you're
it just kept getting weirder and weirder. Then you find out that it was these dudes trying to get famous from Kenya or something. You're like, this is so weird, man. All right, we're supposed to be talking about ODB.
ODB. All right. This is interesting too. Because obviously we're Wu-Tang fans. ODB and Old Dirty was undeniably the most colorful character in the Wu-Tang Clan collective, but his wild ways ultimately caught up to him, and he died of an accidental drug overdose back in 2004, just days before his 36th birthday. And like many other hip-hop legends, ODB's legacy continues thanks to the hard work of his family, friends, and fellow Wu-Tang members. Now, coming up on the A&E network, they announced a 2-hour Old DB biopic. It's been greenlit and tentatively titled Biography, Old Dirty Bastard. The documentary will focus on ODB's brief but impactful career.
Wait, is it a biopic or a documentary?
It says biopic. Biopic.
Those things kind of throw me off, don't they?
What's the difference?
Biopic is like
a movie,
Straight Outta
basically.
Compton movie. That's a biopic, and then a documentary is a documentary.
Well, weird it says, because tentatively titled Biography, Old Dirty Bastard, and then they say the documentary will focus on ODB's brief but impactful career.
I hope you either do it really good to where like Narcos, like how good they do it, you do it really good, or it just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. Like you know what I mean? When they make a movie about somebody, like, have you seen the new Tiger King TV program on Peacock?
Yeah, it's got weird fake
awful.
actors, and you're just kind of like, I haven't
That's
watched
a
it,
biopic.
but
That's a biopic.
it was kind of like the MC Hammer biopic, and
So
it was
like,
the guy from 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah, it doesn't
like,
work. Like sometimes they work really well, like Narcos, where that's a biopic, and it's like, whoa, man, like, and then sometimes they absolutely do not work, and you're just like, you know what I mean?
It's almost insulting. So A&E, it better be good, because we're fans of Old DB and Wu-Tang. So make sure it's good.
Well, if it's documentary style, I hope they go into the story of he did that song with Mariah Carey. Have you heard about that story?
What's the story?
Where like he would go in and he would say like one line.
Oh
And
yeah, I
then
did hear the story, but
and then and then he would take off, and then like from what I remember, then he'd come back and he'd be like, "Oh, I need 20 grand," and then he'd get the money, and then he'd say like the next line, and then he'd take off again. I want to hear that. That'd be so funny to hear that story. But I thought that was awesome.
or it'd be
So
a fly on the wall back then, just sitting in the room watching this dude come in and come out.
Dude, an ODB was weird and it was real. Like, you know what I'm saying? It was not an act. I don't think. I think he was really just out there.
You know what? I wanted to do a segment, Chito, on the Chino brothers. I was like, oh, in season 3, we should do this. What I wanted to do was take a dead rapper, but like figure out what would have become of them if they would have still been alive. Like, that'd be interesting to do with ODB. You know what I mean? Because like, I feel like he was very influential on like all the weird hip hop you hear nowadays.
Tyler, the Creator types.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. I could see that.
he was kind of blowing up right when that happened too. Like
I know.
that album, I don't remember if it had just came out or with Got Your Money on it.
Yeah.
Because like he was like really, to me, I thought he was blowing up, and then all
Yeah.
that. I don't remember the timeline, but yeah, that's
it
a
was
good idea. To see.
2004. I feel like that album came out in the late 90s, though. So it was already like 3 years old, 4 years old, probably. I
Well,
felt like
okay.
maybe was he working on a second album or did he? That's a good question. I don't know. That's good.
Check. Google it.
One way or
Yeah.
another, like I think the documentary will be interesting. I just think it's interesting. So like I didn't watch that Wu-Tang show on Hulu. Did you guys watch it?
I watched a couple episodes, I feel like.
That's a
Yeah.
biopic. And so
Okay.
I was just kind of like, I don't like. I'd rather just hear the Wu-Tang in a
Talk about
actual
it and-
documentary. Yeah, just talk.
Documentary.
You know what I mean? Like it'd be cool just to see him in the same room. And with
Yeah.
Redman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that'd
That's
be cool.
that's why I think it was so cool about that Kanye West on Netflix, because it's like, dang, he had footage,
Actual
so much
footage.
Yeah, it's all this time. It was like the foresight, right, to see that. It's like it's almost like a biopic and a documentary at the same time, right? Because it's just like so much footage from. Have you seen that, Mike?
No,
On
I
Netflix?
dislike
Good.
Kanye
I've
West
watched-
now at this point.
Well,
Kanye
no,
West
I
is
know
crazy
you-
now.
Well, I'm just
Yeah.
saying how.
But everybody says I should watch
It's
it.
good.
Everybody says
It's
I
a
should
good
watch
story. Yeah. Oh yeah, it is good.
I'm just saying that whether you like him or not, I'm just saying how there's just so much footage. He had someone recording him before he was even big, because he knew he was going to be big, and it's just all this footage that how could they have known to record every moment he was
But you know what,
recording?
Cheeto? You know what's sad? For every Kanye West, there's probably like 10,000 other dudes that just have a bunch of VHS.
I got a bunch of cassettes, video cassettes.
And their wives are like, man, just throw them away. It's like, no. When
I
I
don't
make
know.
it.
I still got a chance. I still got a chance.
They're still using a 4-track. It says go to the iPad. Look, Dad, you can just do it on here now. Don't worry about it. All right, guys, we got to wrap this up. Thank you so much for watching. Chito, thank you so much for coming on, man. It was a lot of fun.
Last
You had a
shout
lot
out
of
real
fun?
quick. DJ Drask over in Boron. What up, Drask?
Right on, dude. Did you have fun, Adley?
Always, dude.
I had a good
Always.
time. Did you have a good time, Cheeto?
This is fun, man.
All right,
Anytime. You get-
Cool. We'll have you back, but stick around. for just a
Exotic is
second.
still open. That's where we're gonna find out.
All right, guys. Follow us on YouTube. We got about 5,500. We're trying to get to that 6,000. Come on. Follow
Yeah.
us on Facebook, Instagram, all that other stuff, TikTok, blah, blah, blah. And we'll see you on the next Chino Brothers. Oh, and the next week's episode is the last episode of season 3. And we're out of here.
DJ Randy. DJ Randy. We're gonna have him next week.
Oh, Randy.